Today I'll be showing you 6 vegan snack ideas, and these are my go-to snacks. Super easy, super quick, and super delicious. So we're starting off with the classic combination of peanut butter and apple, but we're kind of changing it up a little bit by making the peanut butter chocolate flavored. I'm just taking some peanut butter and I'm adding cacao powder, and that just gives a really nice deep chocolate flavor, and then adding some maple syrup so that it can taste a little bit sweeter. And I just love the ingredients of this. Super clean, super natural, and really delicious because, I mean, who doesn't want to dip fruit into chocolate? And to make it taste a little bit more like dessert, I added some vanilla extract, but you can totally skip this step if you don't have it. And it does make it a bit thicker, which I really love, but if you don't like a thick dip, then maybe leave it out. Of course, you have to top everything off with chocolate chips. It just adds a really nice crunch. Really, you can do this with any kind of fruit. I just love bananas, so I'm just cutting up the bananas into little coins. I like them a little bit thinner so that you can have more of them and drizzle more of that yummy almond butter on top. If you melt it, it makes it so much more fun to drizzle, so I highly recommend to melt it in the microwave. And then after, I just love cinnamon, so I sprinkled some on top. It just gives it a really nice warm flavor and just kind of makes it more interesting. And at the very end, you could totally drizzle some agave on top, and it just gives it another layer of flavor. I just have some cannellini beans, red wine vinegar, some thyme and rosemary, garlic, olive oil, and salt and pepper. So this is the final product. The white bean dip is so creamy and it's so yummy. You guys should totally try it out. I chilled it for a while in the fridge and then served it with some cut up veggies, and it's such an easy and nutritious snack. I also really love it with corn chips. Here I'm just wetting the rice paper wrapper so that it can become more sticky like, and then I'm lining up my vegetables. You could also add bean sprouts or lettuce. Any type of vegetable works here. This recipe is super versatile. And sometimes the trickiest part is wrapping it. You just want to make sure you don't stuff it too full, otherwise it'll be really difficult. I'm just folding in the sides and then rolling upward. It's kind of like making a burrito. This is the recipe I used for the peanut sauce. I honestly just kind of eyeballed everything and didn't really measure, but this is approximately the recipe. It makes quite a bit of peanut sauce, so I just keep it in a glass jar in the fridge, and it's great whenever I want to dip something. So for this parfait, there are 2 layers, one regular layer and one chocolate layer. For the regular layer, you use 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, and then the chocolate layer, you use 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. and then just add the nut milk. And for the chocolate one, I added a teaspoon of cacao powder. That makes it pretty chocolatey, so if you don't really like chocolate as strong, maybe do like a half teaspoon. And make sure to also put some sweetener in it because cacao powder by itself is quite bitter. So I put a little maple syrup in it and then let it gel on the counter for a while, and then it went into the fridge overnight. We're all about functionality and convenience over here, so I just defrosted some frozen berries in the microwave, and this kind of served as like a sauce or like a berry compote, and it made the chia pudding naturally sweet, which I'm all about natural sweetness, so this was really yummy to put on top. You can layer this parfait however you would like. This is the time to get creative and fun. I just started off with the regular chia pudding layer on the bottom and then added some berries just so the juices could kind of drip everywhere and make the whole thing taste amazing. And then after, I just put a layer of chocolate chia pudding, and then I just repeated that until I ran out of chia pudding. So totally get really creative, and you can make it look really fancy too if you'd like. I made this as 2 servings. I think it's quite a bit to eat all that seed at once, so I just ate it for 2 days, but it was so yummy. I loved the frozen fruit that was melted, especially the blueberries. Those are my favorite, and it just is beautiful to look at all the layers, all the flavors, and just see a colorful treat. And you could also get really creative with the toppings. Like I mentioned before, granola would be one, or you could drizzle agave or some nut butter, or even more fruit if you like. The great thing about any type of trail mix you make is that there's no measuring really. I mean, you can measure, but if you don't measure properly, it doesn't really matter because it's just a bunch of things all combined together, and it just makes the most delicious treat. So I just put in what I had at home, but if you don't have some of these ingredients, it's totally fine. You can leave them out, or you could add whatever you have. A great one to add could be raisins, or you could chop up apricots, like dried apricots. That would be really yummy too. Adding some more pistachios. You can really add anything you want to this. I just love these colors with the green, and I love the coconut. So I'm just gonna shake this up a little bit. But this is such a great snack to have, especially if you're traveling. It's like a homemade trail mix, and it's protein packed, but it also has some fun things like the cranberries and the chocolate chips, just for a little sweetness. You can really customize it, so if you don't have like coconut flakes, you could use something else, but it's such a beautiful trail mix. I just love it, and it's really natural, really healthy, and vegan. Make sure to use vegan chocolate if you're making this vegan, but yeah, this is definitely a go-to snack for me.